friendship bracelets, take the moment and taste it. You got no reason to be afraid. Yeah, I was doing friendship bracelets and making friendship bracelets before the Eras tour, and that's my flex. It's not my biggest flex, but it's one of them. Although, even though I am not going to the Eras tour, I did make myself a bracelet with my favourite song on it. It says Sparks Fly, and it's all purple, and it has a little crown and a star on it. The fact that I'm drinking coffee at 10 to 9 in the evening should tell you how tired I am right now. The mug says, when in doubt, dance it out, and I absolutely love it because it's honestly such a mood. And these may not be your traditional rainbow, but they are kind of a rainbow. Like a muted rainbow. A beige mom aesthetic rainbow. Come on, we all know a beige mom. Come on. This is the kind of rainbow they're after. But this is my sort of rainbow. So why do I get nervous every time I film a video? So weird. I used to be a YouTuber before I was a drag queen. Girl. All right, let's do this. Hello there, everybody. My name is Nora Divergent. I am your friendly neighborhood AFAB and autistic drag queen, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new around here. Hope you can stick around for the ride, and if you do like what you see and you want to stick around for the ride, then do hit that subscribe button down below and hit the bell to be notified when I upload new content. Today's video is going to be quite a fun one. I decided to do a little bit of a story time, and this used to be really popular when I was like a teenager. There was always these dramatic story times. Spoilers, this one isn't that dramatic, but it's really cute. I have seen a lot of Taylor Swift fans going to the Eras tour, and they're trading friendship bracelets, and it is the cutest thing ever. And I've got quite a lot of bracelets on today in honor of that, because before the Eras tour, I actually started my own little friendship bracelet club for drag queens. Although I don't think Drag Queen Friendship Bracelet Club is as inclusive. I kind of want to change the name to include kings and monarchs and artists as well. So I may need a new name for the Friendship Bracelet Club. So if you have any ideas, then hit me up, let me know down below. All right, so let's get right into the story of how the Drag Queen Friendship Bracelet Club was formed, what it means, who the members are, and who else I hope to induct in the future. So let's get right into it. I started the Drag Queen Friendship Bracelet Club back in 2021. So I got tickets to the Adult Panto tour of Rapunzel, and it featured 4 drag queens: Ellie Diamond from Drag Race UK Season 2, Tamisha Iman, Trinity K. Bonet, and Alexis Mateo, all icons of Drag Race USA. And I was so excited. And originally in the cast, it was Tia Coffee was in the cast, but then because of a load of drama with the company and another production that the company were doing going to pot, basically, Tia decided to pull out of the tour.
I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm bitter.
And they brought in Alexis, which I mean is pretty cool, because I saw the role Alexis was playing, and I was like, I don't think I could imagine Tia playing that character, to be honest, and I think it suited Alexis so well. I really wanted to do something special, and it was my first time to the theatre post-lockdown, and I was actually really, really nervous about it because anxiety, and also everything starting to come back to normal. And I actually remember making a bunch of stories about it, and Ellie Diamond actually messaged me, and it was really, really sweet of her to do that. She was like, you know, it'll be fine, everything's gonna be okay, I really can't wait to meet you, and you know, it's gonna be brilliant. And she was right, it was brilliant. I wanted to do something to mark this occasion of my first trip to the theatre after lockdown. So what I decided to do was make bracelets inspired by a project I did in 2018, which was the last year of my bachelor's degree. We did a final project, and that was Love's Labour's Lost by William Shakespeare, set in the 60s. And I wanted to do something special, like as a token to give to people, so they remember our time together. There was 23 of us, there was 16 in the cast and 5 that were crew, but we did have like people did different roles. Like I helped to make some of the props. We had, you know, people doing the music who were also in the show. It was really, really cool. And I ended up coming up with the idea of making friendship bracelets because it felt very 60s, very hippie kind of vibes. And I handed them out and everyone loved them. I remember our director, his name was Matt. He sent me a picture a few months later with it hung up in his room. And it was so cute. I don't know if he still got it, but Matt, if you see the video, have you still got my bracelet? If not, then cool. But if you have, then that's iconic. So inspired by that, I wanted to pass on that kind of love to the queens of Rapunzel. So I decided to make these bracelets, and they were just basic. They were made out of yarn and they were like knitted together, sort of like braided. They weren't the best design, I will admit, but I also made them a card with like a picture of them, and I wrote a sweet little message in there because I'm cute like that. And then the day came and I was so nervous. I actually felt quite nauseous, and I ended up doing a Disney bound of Rapunzel, and it was really, really cute. I went in, I met the queens. Ellie Diamond immediately recognized me and all the girls loved my outfit, and I was like, I have a surprise for you. And I handed out these cards, and then I got a message from Ellie later on saying the girls loved them, that she loved her bracelet. She actually put a picture of it on her story, which was so cute. Then in November of the same year, I went to my first drag show, which was Lawrence Chaney's Purple Rain tour, and it was in Hull. It was on my former university campus, and it was such a throwback. For it being my first ever drag show, I dressed up as the Doctor from Doctor Who because, you know, why not? I dressed up as the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, who is right behind me, right here, and she's also here. You can tell I love Jodie Whittaker, right? I handed them the card and the friendship bracelet as well, and I gave them a TARDIS key that I'd made for them because they're a massive Doctor Who fan, like me, and they loved it. I also ended up on stage that night, but that's a story for another day. I just carried on this tradition, and I thought, oh, this one was for my first time in a theatre after lockdown. This one was for my first time to a drag show. And then I noticed there was a lot of anti-drag talk, anti-LGBTQ plus hate, and it was really horrible to see. And I was like, no one deserves this. No one deserves to feel like this. And you know what? I'm going to keep making these friendship bracelets, and I'm going to give them to queens as a sign that, hey, you are seen, you are beautiful, you are loved, and this is a little token to remind you of that. So whenever you're feeling down, you have the bracelet. You don't even have to wear it, you can just hold it in your hand. I mean, the designs back then, the way to wear them was just, oh, it was gross.
Cringe!
Then I went to see the adult panto tour of Snow White, which is right behind me. It's right there. You can't see Theresa May because of the light. The light's too bright for Theresa May. But I ended up making bracelets for all 4 of the queens on that show, which was Kenny Davenport, Joey J, Theresa May, and Lemon. And I handed out the cards. I turned to Lemon and I said, well, I don't have a BFF necklace, but will a BFF bracelet do? And she was like, you're so cute. And she hugged me so tight. It was so cute. This was after social distancing restrictions were lifted a bit, so we could actually have human contact and we could hug. Which, yeah, my first drag queen hug was Lemon. That's just iconic. I ended up seeing a lot of people having all this anti-drag speech saying, oh, drag queens are not suitable for children, or they are naughty around children. I mean, it was just horrible to see. It's like, think of the children. I'm like, what?
All I'm hearing is your opinion. Your opinion just sounds like you're an arsehole.
What are you even saying? Girl, chill. Drag is for everyone. There is family-friendly drag, you know? Yes, there are drag queens in clubs who are, like, really naughty, really raunchy, dropping F-bombs every 5 seconds. But then you have, like, the family-friendly stuff. And you have drag queen story time, which is honestly so wholesome. And I would love to do drag queen story time in the future. Like, it just seems so amazing. I would love to do it. So I actually kept making the bracelets to be a sign of defiance and kind of be a sign of you are seen and you are loved, and I hope you always remember that. And then I became a queen myself. So, of course, I made myself a bracelet so that I, as Nora Divergent, could match with all the queens and we have that connection. It's because I have the bracelet and they have the bracelet and it's all connected like a circle. It's connected like an infinity. Oh my god, because if you do the bracelet, hang on a minute, you turn it like that, fucking infinity. Oh my god, why did I not think of this? Big brain, somewhere under all these flowers. But yes, I became a queen myself, and I noticed how important it was to make these things, to have these bracelets and just little tokens, and to see people's faces light up when they got them. And then I met Danny Beard and had the sweetest interaction with them, and they loved it. And in fact, I have my picture with Danny Beard up here. Birthday twins. Yes, I share a birthday with Danny Beard. We wished each other happy birthday this year, which was so cute. But yeah, I gave them a friendship bracelet as well, and also a Gemini necklace because we are birthday twins. And that was really sweet. And then I ended up going to my first ever Pride, and I won a competition to perform on the Lincoln Pride stage. But that's a story for another day as well. I'm just teasing you with all these stories.
What the fuck is up, Kyle?
But I ended up making bracelets for all of the queens on the judging panel who helped get me through to the finals and onto the main stage. And I made them for the scene queens, and it was just so special. The queens absolutely loved them. Their reactions were brilliant. I also made one for Pixie Polite. Her reaction was fantastic. I mean, she is so sweet. Say what you want about Pixie Polite. You know, there were some people digging at Pixie Polite, and they're like, you want to fight me? Let's say Pixie is one of the sweetest queens I've ever met. Like, she is. Then I went to go and see Queens the Show, which is honestly, it was such a epiphany, and it was a big part of my drag awakening, and it really affirmed that yes, I want to do drag and I want to be a drag queen, and it meant a lot to me. And I ended up going back a year later in drag to introduce them to Nora Divergent, and it honestly was amazing. And there were 6 people in the cast, and then there is another queen, so there's 6 queens, and then there's Jace, who's iconic. They only have 5 queens on at a time, and I was like, oh, I made one for you and for you, and I made little Pride themed bags, and it was so cute. And I was like, oh, I've got one for Bella as well, and they're like, she's right there. And there was Bella, out of drag. And I was like, oh my god, it's so good to see you. And I handed them the bracelet, and they loved it. It was really, really sweet. And then I did something to rival the Eras tour. This is really cool. So I ended up getting tickets to go and see Lawrence Chaney, this gorgeous queen. This one's real. This signed poster is real. If you know, you know. Fuck club kids. Oh yeah, if you don't know the tea on that, definitely do some Googling because it's shady as fuck.
Get fucked.
I ended up going to see Lawrence Chaney. I went in drag. I actually was dressed as Jo Grant from Doctor Who, but as a drag queen. And they loved it. It was so sweet. We had our own little Doctor and companion moment because I brought my sonic screwdriver because they said their favourite Doctor was the 3rd Doctor, John Pertwee, which we have to stand. I mean, John Pertwee is an icon. And Katie Manning as Jo Graham, icon. So Lawrence and I as Doctor and companion, icon. Russell T Davies, if you see this, we should be your next Doctor and companion duo. Look at us. We could do it. Trust us. We'd be amazing. Trust us on this. If you know, you know. I'm going to insert a clip here because no one's going to know.
Trust me on this. Trust me on this.
Trust us on this. Oh my god, I'm such a nerd. The caffeine's finally starting to kick in, which is great. So I went to go and reunite with Lawrence Chaney, which was an amazing experience. And they remembered me from Hull, and we talked. I mentioned, oh, I'm a queen now. And they're like, oh yeah, you're Nora Divergent. And I was like, you know my name. And we had a great conversation, and honestly, it made me so happy. But I wanted to do something special, and inspired by the Friendship Bracelet Club, I decided to spread a little bit of love and light in Sheffield that night, and I made 80 friendship bracelets, and I gave them out to audience members. So if you were there at the Sheffield show of Lawrence Chaney, Overweight and Over It, and you got a friendship bracelet from me, I hope you love it. There was one that said fattered, fat and shattered. Some of them said Over It, some said UK Hun. I made myself one, and it is on this wrist. It says Purple Rain. It is in honour of my first ever drag show. And Lawrence loved it. I did make one for Lawrence, and it had the initials for me and my gals. We eat chicken nuggets together. Because it's just iconic. And I also gave them some penguin chocolate bars because we use the same 6 jokes and they're from penguin chocolate bars, and they lived for it.
We use the same 6 jokes and they're from Penguin chocolate bars.
But everyone who got a bracelet, they all loved it, and it really was so special. If I'm going to see a show, everyone is getting a bracelet. Nobody is safe. I am not one of these people that just focuses on their fave and like no one else gets a look in. Or like, you know, if you're a non-Rue girl, you're not getting a bracelet. Oh, hell no. And I will do a full story time on this because it was one of the best experiences of my life. That is me as the Mad Hatter. Yes, there's Victoria Scone. There is Kate Butch, Banksy, Bailey J. Mills, and Sophia Stardust. And I was like, oh, I have a little surprise for all of you. And they were like, ooh, this is exciting. And I went to my bag to get it, and then I felt someone come up behind me and was like fixing the collar of my dress. I was like, it was Victoria. I ended up being like, I'm handing them out, and the first person I handed it to was Bailey. And Bailey's eyes were just like, oh, thank you. I actually tagged all the queens in a story, and Bailey messaged me later and was like, it honestly means a lot to me. And I was like, I have a rule. Nobody gets left out. Nobody. Because I know that feeling all too well from being a kid and being left out or being the last to be picked for something. I know that feeling all too well, and I do not want anyone to ever feel that way. And it is so important that everyone gets recognised, whether they're a queen or a king or a monarch or an artist, which is why I want to change the Drag Queen Friendship Bracelet Club name to be a bit more inclusive. I need to think of that. But for some reason, my brain is just not braining at the moment. What?
Are you challenging me?
The reason why I keep making these bracelets is because A, I love doing it. Bracelet making is a hobby of mine. And B, it's because I love to spread love and light. And doing this, for me, it's a token of love and appreciation and gratitude and almost an act of defiance to say, hey, yeah, we're all queens and kings and monarchs. We don't fit into your box, but sod that, because we have a box of our own, baby. And for me, it's a form of connection, and it helps connect me to the queens and the kings and the monarchs that I have given these bracelets to or intend to. I have a lot more to give out in the future. There's a lot of people I want to give bracelets to and induct into this club in the future, but it's just a way of connecting with them and saying thank you for what you do. Thank you for being you, for your charisma, your uniqueness, your nerve, your talent, your beauty, everything. Just thank you for being you and for inspiring myself and other people who are like me to be themselves and be openly themselves and be proud of who they are, because it means a lot. And yeah, it's just a nice thing to do. It's nice to be nice. It's nice to be kind. It's nice to spread some joy. That's just my philosophy. Yeah, it's not just Rue girls who get them. Everyone gets one. I remember the scene queens in Lincoln, and I made them bracelets and gave them all out, and they were like, this is so sweet. And they all loved it. And they had little, because it was Pride, I actually added a few little extra bits. So I had like a party popper and some little bubbles, and it was really, really cute. And they all loved it. But look at all these. I have all of these bracelets that I have made that I'm hoping to give out in the future. I have so many. And I used to make them where they were like the knitted yarn, but I've stopped doing that now because it is a pain in the arse to make, and they don't work as well. I discovered that when I met Pixie Polite, and I was like, yeah, it's a bit tricky, but all of the knitted ones from season 4 girls are going to be kept that way because it is a part of a set. So they used to look like this. They used to look a little bit like this. Whose is this one? This is Cheddar Gorgeous's, and it's knitted like this, like it's yarn and stuff. But now they actually look a little something like, I'm gonna pick this one, which is oh, okay, this one is Louis Cypher. Louis Cypher's a drag king. I absolutely love them, absolutely iconic. And this is what they look like. So they have like little crystals. I have to put sequins in here, so they come in these little organza bags, and they have the bracelet, little scatter crystals and sequins, and little tags that say handmade with love. Someone said it was giving Rapunzel vibes, which ties perfectly back to the very first queens that I gave the bracelets to, which were the Rapunzel girls. And if you're wondering, the very first queen to be inducted into my Drag Queen Friendship Bracelet Club was Alexis Mateo, which I think is pretty iconic, if you ask me. And then the latest queen to be inducted, as of recording this video, It will probably change by the time I upload it, but as of recording, it's Victoria's gone. Which I just think is totally iconic to think about because she was a big part of me starting drag. So such a full circle moment and I love that. I love my Friendship Bracelet Club. I think it's just a nice way to connect with people. I love being nice and I just wanted to tell the story of it. And after seeing all of the cool designs of the Eras tour, and it really inspired me to tell the story. I love seeing people trading the friendship bracelets of the Eras tour, and while I may not be there, I do have my own bracelet. Maybe I should start trading with people. That'd be quite fun, doing a friendship bracelet trade. But anyway, that is going to be it for this little story time video. I know I've rambled a lot, but this story does mean a lot to me, and this whole thing means a lot to me. And yeah, so until next time, spread love and light wherever you go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone!